Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to wait just a moment to see if anyone else wants to join us this morning. Well, afternoon for some of you on the East Coast. And then we'll get started in just a moment. All right, looks like we had a couple more jump on, and I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, thank you everybody for joining us this morning. The title of our webinar today is Updates to BookMe. And you guys, really the purpose of the webinar today is just to keep you guys informed on some of the enhancements that we've made over the past few months, making sure that you know that what's available and also how you might turn it on or how you might use it. Okay, so just a little bit of housekeeping to get started. The duration of the webinar is about 30 minutes, and of course, we'll always have time for Q&A. It may not be that long today, you guys. Again, we're just going through a list of enhancements. My microphone is on, and everyone else is automatically muted as they join the webinar. You also have to have your speakers turned on to hear the webinar. So hopefully you've realized that this is started and you're going to turn it on now. You guys, I'm happy to take questions during the webinar as well as at the end during the Q&A session. So you can always ask questions using the chat section. If it's relevant to the section that we're talking about, then I'll go ahead and answer it. Sometimes I might ask you to hold the question till the end, till the Q&A session. Or if it's related directly to your business, I might ask you to go ahead and email that through to the education team. Okay, and then of course, you guys, if you have further questions or you want more information, you can always post to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/shortcutsusa. All right, so the learning outcomes for today, in this session, you'll learn about the following new BookMe features. So client cancellations, so allowing your clients to actually cancel and manage their appointments through online booking. The service booking order, so we can now control what order services show up in on the appointment book. Restrict BookMe bookings to one employee, so if we only want them to be able to book with a single person. Appointment tags for BookMe. Dual language booking page, so if you require different languages for your BookMe page. Adding BookMe to Facebook, there's a new process for that. And then also, you guys, the third-party booking process and how that shows up in your touch tip. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is the so canceling and rescheduling in BookMe. So you guys, there are two settings located in your BookMe settings screen that control cancellations and rescheduling in BookMe. Okay, so the first one, there's a little checkbox down under the other BookMe settings called Allow Client Cancellations. Clients are only able to do this if you have this turned on. Also, I have latest cancellation allowed, and that's also in your BookMe settings, and that's right up in the top where you can specify how close to the appointment they're actually allowed to cancel their appointment online. Okay, so I know that some people have been waiting quite a while for clients to be able to do this. So you do have to be on a version of our Fusion software for shortcuts to be able to use this feature. Okay, so once you turn this on and enable this, and again, like I said, you have to be on the Fusion version, but up here you can see that they'll then have this manage future appointments or select from previous appointments. So when they go into manage future appointments, they can actually see the service that they're booked for, and then here they can actually select that service and either change the booking or cancel the booking. Okay, looks like I have a question, just a moment. Okay, so if they choose cancel, then they'll also be prompted with this option down here. You can see it says cancel selected appointments. Are you sure you want to cancel the selected appointment? So it does give them a prompt just confirming that they would like to cancel. And then if they say okay, it's going to go ahead and process that. You guys, they can also change their booking so they can reschedule through here as well. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, so the next one that we want to talk about is the service booking order. So our clients don't always understand that we'd like the color to be before any other service. Or some of us actually want the cut to be first. And regardless of what your preference is, you can now specify that in the BookMe settings as well. So there's a section in your BookMe settings screen as well called Service Booking Order. And in there, you guys, you can see, I have a little screenshot here where it actually shows that I want color to be first, and then my barbering services, and then my cuts, and then my styles. Okay, so based upon what order you put this in, your client may actually get or receive this message that you see here, basically stating that the location that they're booking at wishes for the services to be ordered in a different way, and it just lets them know that they're going to go ahead and reorder the service. Once the client says okay, it moves the color to the top. Any questions about that one? Okay. Someone's just saying that they're having an issue with the connection. I don't know if everyone is okay with the connection. Eddie, I'm sorry you can't hear anything. We will always record this, so I'll be able to send this recording to you after today, okay, if you're not able to get connected correctly. So I have a question. What if the timing does not allow? And I'm assuming that that's talking about for the service rebooking order. So what happens is the client, if the service is reordered, this is actually the first step when they're choosing the services. So at that point, it would still go to the next step and then to the next step where it searches for an availability. So it will still have to go through the process of actually searching that. So if the time isn't available, it simply won't allow the booking. All right. Okay, so the next one, restrict BookMe bookings to one employee. So in situations, you guys, where you might be a departmentalized store where some people do cuts and some people do colors, we have colorists and stylists, we obviously would not want to turn on this feature, because what this feature does is it allows the client to only book with a single operator or a single person. Okay, so if we really want them to stay with the same person for their cut and for their color, and we don't want them booking with multiples, then we can actually turn this feature on, and then it will restrict them from booking with another person. So what happens is if they choose their first service and you have this feature turned on, the next service will automatically autofill the employee for the other service. Okay, appointment tags in BookMe. So you guys, there are two settings in the BookMe settings screen called requested employee tag and default tag. You guys, the first one, requested employee tag, is only on and is only visible to you if you have restrict BookMe bookings to one employee. So that is only visible if you have that particular setting turned on. So if you have that setting turned on, requested employee tag could, for instance, be set to request. Okay, there's also a default tag. So for instance, if you just wanted all appointments that showed up through online booking to be tagged as an online booking, So maybe I put like ON. Okay, or if I just wanted them to be tagged as review so that I could review them just like that color shows when an online booking comes up in the point of sale. Okay, so the requested employee tag is if I have restricted to one booking employee. Okay, so I can set that requested employee tag. And then the default tag is just if I want all appointments through online booking to show up with a specific tag. Okay, so up until this point, it's always been that we'd need to review the appointment and add a tag. So now we have some options here for BookMe to add some tags for us. Any questions about those features, you guys? Okay, looks like everyone's okay. All right, the next one is the dual language feature. So some of our friends in Canada are going to be very happy about this feature because they'll be able to display their BookMe screen in English or in French Canadian. Okay, so I can now have a dual language. I can have multiple languages where there's more than two as well if I'd like. But in this case, in your company settings screen, you can go down to the section where you can add another language. And you can see here in this first screenshot that there's just a single little plus sign where I can add a language. And then the drop-down list here is what I currently have to choose from. On my database here, we've actually added French Canada. Okay, and then you can see here that up at the top of my BookMe screen, it would actually toggle back and forth between the two. You guys, your first language is automatically going to default to your region that you're in. Okay, and then again, the second language, you can add any of these that you'd like. On the client's browser, it will default to what language their browser is using. But then again, up at the top, they'll actually be able to toggle between the two languages you can see here. Select a language, and then I could choose any language that's set for that booking site. Okay, any questions about that one, you guys? Okay. Oop. All right, so the next one, adding BookMe to Facebook. There's a new process to do this, you guys. So for those of you that already have the online booking link on your website or on your Facebook page, excuse me, this is another way that we can add it, and this actually allows for mobile users to see it as well. Okay, so you can see that from your page, there's a create call to action button. Okay, so this is directly from your Facebook page. Okay, then at that point, you would select the Book Now option. Okay, and then you would select the next option. Okay, you guys, we also have a document on this as well. So if you need some help with this or need assistance, you can always just contact the help desk and they can give you some help with this or send you out the document. Okay, once we do this, we have to go ahead and choose. You can see select website from the drop-down list for iOS users, and then the other option, select website in the drop-down list for Android users as well. Again, you guys, it's going to step you through this step by step to help you through the process. Okay, once you do that and get through, you've added the URL, then you have the Book Now button right up at the top, and it's ready to use. Okay, again, you guys, I know we went through that a little quickly, so if you need some help with that or you need some support, give the help desk a call and they can send you through the document or they can walk you through it if you have some time. Okay, but there is a new call to action process that'll allow me to see it from my phone as well. Okay, and then you guys, the third party booking and then how that shows up in the touch tip. So your clients can now book on behalf of another client. So an example of this is if a mom wants to book an appointment for her daughter. So she wants to sign in using her online booking account and just create a profile for her daughter. I just want to point out, you guys, up here too, you can see the little language option. Okay, but once I search for my times and my appointment and what I'm looking for, you can see I've searched for a children's haircut. Okay, but I don't want this to actually be for me. Okay, so then I click the little add button here. Okay, and then it comes up and it asks me to create a relationship and add the profile, right? So you can see up at the top it says link a client to your account. So up at the top, I chose child of Angelique Gonzalez because I'm booking for my daughter. Okay, and then it has you fill in all the information again that's required, just like when you create an account. Okay, so I can fill in my child's name, and then over here, once that happens, you can see I've added the profile, and then you can see it says book for Elamora. So it'll actually allow using your own profile for you to book for another client. Okay, that makes it a lot easier for you guys as well, because then you're not renaming the appointments or having to change the appointments once they come into the point of sale. Okay, so if mom does book for her daughter, you can see that here's my online booked appointment. You guys, it will always put this little post-it on the appointment now, that little appointment note. And if it adds an appointment note, you can see down here it says booked via BookMe by Angelique Gonzalez, parent. Okay, so it's letting you know that this person booked the appointment and they're the parent of this client. Okay, and then it still shows me all of the other information like it would that it was booked online and that it has a tag. Okay, any questions about that one, you guys? Okay, so like I said, this webinar is going to be pretty short and sweet today. That is everything that I have to share with you. So here's just a summary of everything that we've covered today, the new BookMe features that we've discussed and talked through. Okay, so again, allowing clients to cancel and reschedule their appointments online. The service booking order. So if we prefer our colors to be booked before our cuts, we can specify that in the BookMe settings. Being able to restrict BookMe bookings to a single employee. Appointment tags for BookMe appointments. So actually being able to apply tags now through the booking process. The dual language booking page, so being able to have more than one language displayed on your online booking page. Adding BookMe to Facebook, the new process. And I'm going to say it again, you guys, if you need help or support with that process, please just give our help desk a call. They can send you out the document or they can walk you through it if they have some time. And then the third-party bookings and the touch tip and how that shows up. Okay, looks like I have a question here. Okay, so you guys, if a client cancels online, it doesn't show up in your schedule as a different color or anything. It actually just removes it removes the appointment from the appointment book. So the only way for you to know that would be to go and check your display BookMe bookings in the console. And Patty, if you need some help with that, just send an email through to the education department. So it's just education@shortcuts.net. Okay, there's also, can you give another example of why you would restrict BookMe bookings to one employee? Sometimes people are concerned about using online booking because it does give the client the freeness to book with whomever they'd like. Um, situations where when a client calls the store, we can actually control the fact that we're going to book them with a single person and not let them just go and try someone else because they feel like it or whatever it might be. So it just, again, like I said, you might use it in a situation where you just want to make sure that they're staying with a single person, and it just gives that assurance and a little more security to you that you have that control. Okay. Oh, and it looks like, is this all only for Fusion? Janelle, most of these features are Fusion that are requiring Fusion, yes. So to use most of these items, I believe, except for the tags, those are little later versions of 7.4. But yeah, most of these features would require Fusion. Okay. So you guys, you might have a few more questions, and we'll stay on here to answer a few more questions if you do. But of course, I just want to remind you that you can always register for our upcoming webinars. The new ones should be coming up onto the web shortly. And you can always watch the past webinars. So this one is going to be up on the web hopefully by the end of the week. And you guys can always go and review what we went through and what we discussed on the webinar library. Looks like I have another question. Okay, so the question is, so are you assigning that customer's profile to only one employee, or is the whole book only allowing appointments to be with a single employee? No, what it's saying is that client is only allowed to book with the person that they chose. So if they choose a haircut with Vicky, they can't choose a color with Patty. They would also have to choose their color with Vicky. So the restrict BookMe bookings to a single employee makes them choose a single person to make their online booking with. Okay, I do want to let you guys know about the offer that we're having as well. So we're having an upgrade your hardware offer. So it's time, if it might be time to give your front desk a makeover before the holiday season comes on. So we have a package where you can save up to $356. So here's the link. You can of course get this on our website, but here's the link here if you want to take a look. Or you can always get more information, you guys, by contacting your account manager. And then there's the phone number that you can call there. Okay, so Aaron is asking for the restrictive booking, what if they have multiple services? Like different departments. So if you have a spa and a salon, Aaron, or if you're departmentalized and you have stylists and colorists, you would not want to use that feature because you would certainly want clients to be able to book with multiple departments. Okay, so you guys, again, we'll stay on for a few more minutes for the Q&A, and I just want to put up here some contact information as well. Here's my contact details. Contacting, again, you can post things to Facebook if you have follow-up questions or you just want to chat about something. Phone numbers to the office, so The 866 number is toll free. And then you guys, any questions that you have, please always feel free to use the education inbox. So if you just have a question about how do I do this, or how do I turn on this setting, or how do I turn this off, or anything like that, you can always email through to the education department. And you guys, our support team is always there to help as well. Okay, so any other questions, I'm happy to answer. Okay, well, looks like everyone's okay with the questions. You guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, we just wanted to make sure that we gave you a review of the enhancements that we're bringing out over the last few months for the online booking tool, and just walk you through those. And again, you guys, this webinar will go up onto the webinar library hopefully by the end of the week, and you can review it again as well if you need to. Thank you so much, you guys, for taking out the time to join us today, and I hope you sign up next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.